Yeah, I don't know. I was going to stop making these videos, and then I got all these ideas, and now I look like an idiot for making these videos again. But why should I stop? I'm adding some stuff here. Uh, what can I say? I I might. Well, I'll continue doing this until I run out of juice, and then anyway. So this one is going to be about the definition of consciousness and its link with the hard problem of consciousness. So, what is the definition of consciousness? The definition of consciousness is that the property of there being something that's like to be, the property of being experiential. Now, what am I getting at here? So, what does having a property mean? It means that there has to be an object, and it has a property that is not the object. Otherwise, like let's say, you wouldn't say that redness has the property of being redness. I mean, you can say that, but it doesn't mean anything. You don't need to add that. If you would say element has the property, is conscious, is the same as saying element, then you don't need to add the word consciousness, right? But now think about what the term experience means. Experience means existence. There is no experience that is not existence. It is the confirmation of existence in the first person. And whether there's existence that is not experience, I don't know. But I know that all type of experience is existence. All types, whether there's types at all. Experience is existence. So I'm saying that object A has the property of existence. Now, for this statement to mean anything and not just be, as I said, like you just can remove it, like redness has the property of being redness, then it has to be the case that object A, the existence of object A is different from the existence of that experience is. Even though experience is existence, you don't need to add much to it, or at all. It's unclear whether experience has any other property other than existence. It could be that that's its only property, in the sense of that there is no existence absent the other properties of experience. So when you say that something is conscious, if you mean something, and you just mean, when you use the term consciousness, if it means anything, if it's not just like you added nothing to the conversation, then you actually mean that object A is not conscious, and then it has this additional property that makes it it's not conscious, it's not experiential. There's nothing that's like to be it, and then it gains the property of the having an experience. This is ingrained into the term consciousness. It is not ingrained into the term experience, because experience is not the property of having an experience. Experience is experience, existence. It is the same thing. It's not the property of. And if it's not the same thing, if this thing that is experience is not the same thing as the object that has the experience, then you get the hard problem of consciousness. Then you get the question: how do physical processes give rise to qualia, give rise to conscious experience, gives rise to awareness, all that. So, unless you're going to say that the term consciousness is, you can say that it's another word for the word existence. It's another word for the term experience. You can say that, but that's not what people mean. Then you get into the hard problem of consciousness. But if you say, but you can still say that it's the same element, and then you get to the idea that experience is fundamental, and there's nothing, and then the hard problem of consciousness just disappears. If you ask how do non experiential things produce experience, well, they don't. They don't produce experience. Only experience produces experience. Under that assumption, and then you don't have the hard problem of consciousness. And so, okay, so what's the problem with that? So these are two possibilities. One is implicit in the term consciousness. One is compatible with the term consciousness if you mean it that way, but no one means it that way, or hardly anyone means it that way. The problem is that the arguments that are true to when experience is fundamental are being borrowed into the possibility that experience is not fundamental, that the body produces experience. And then you get, like, for example, I just described quantum immortality. You get to this thing that I argue that experience is never ends. And but on the other hand, I say that this is not the same as immortality in the sense of the corporeal body. But if you don't make a distinction, you can say, take my argument that experience never ends, and assume from it that consciousness never ends, and therefore corporeal immortality is possible, and then you get to quantum immortality. And you can also go the other way. You can make the assumption of the hard problem of consciousness, like that how does element A produce element B, and then even though you assume that experience is fundamental, you still ask the same questions. How will I create a machine that will produce experience? Because you haven't digested the idea that consciousness is not experience, and they are one leads to one set of conclusions, and the other leads to a different set of conclusions. And this is why an additional reason why you should not use the term consciousness. And then whenever you see the term consciousness, you just run away from it, because you will not be. You will easily make the mistake of making assumptions that are based on the idea that experience is fundamental, with the assumption that experience isn't fundamental. And this is on top of any other stuff that your usage of the term consciousness might bring, which is like addition of memories and identity and a whole story of your identity. You start to think that it also will exist forever, like the experience lives forever, and you get to this whole mess of souls and mind and lots of questions that don't need answering. They just like say you just mixed two incompatible logical moves together, and this is why everything doesn't make sense to you.